I wanted to put him in a video. I thought it would be dope. Didn't think that I'd do a movie with him and get the chance to put him in a video. So Wayne Isham directed it, and I wanted to do the whole Enter the Dragon scene where we have a lot of mirrors, and that's where Jet is fighting, and it's just so dope. And we also got to do stunts like we did in the movie using the wire, so it was great.
Aaliyah's hit single Try Again from the Romeo Must Die soundtrack was nominated for a Grammy Award, and the accompanying music video picked up 2 MTV Video Music Awards in September 2000.
I said, Aaliyah, no one really takes people on, no, you're going. I said, I don't hear anything else about it. I was like, whatever you want, baby.
The award goes to Try Again.
So they announced winner Aaliyah. She grabbed my hand and we walked on stage together, and I was mortified.
Wow. Yo, this is a shock. This is a big shock.
She thanked everyone, and she looked at me and she said,
My brother Rashad, I love you. You're my everything.
You are my everything.
Okay, what if he wins? So I never really prepared myself for that. So when they called my name, I was like, oh wow, I'm actually going to win this one. So getting up there on the podium and speaking, it was a shock. I was extremely nervous.
Here we go. Can y'all really feel it, baby girl? East Coast feel it.
I didn't really think I was the queen of soundtracks. I didn't even realize that I've done a lot until just recently when someone named them off to me. I've done Journey to the Past. That was a really great soundtrack for me because I got a chance to see the movie before I did it, and I like animated features, so I was excited about that one. And also because that song went to the Oscars, that definitely meant a lot. Dr. Dolittle was very important because it was a highlight in my career. It was one of the biggest songs of '98 for me, and it was just a great video, great song.
Met a real-life Romeo in Damon Dash. The co-founder of Rockefeller Records, Dash was a regular on the New York party scene.
So it was like, you know, Big Bad Wolf, messing with Little Red Riding Hood.
Damon had long had a rep as a man about town. When he met Aaliyah in New York in the summer of 2000, he was quickly smitten.
The thing that was attracted me to her, that, you know, she wasn't into the things that you know, everyone else was into. Like, I used to like to go out. She was cool with being by herself. She was cool with being inside. She only went out to hang out with me.
When we hooked up, we sat down, made an agreement. We vowed that we'd always be together.
He would always make her laugh, and he treated her like a queen. And what made me so happy was to see her happy, you know? It was just great to see her smile every single day.
She definitely liked the fact that the critics enjoyed her work, but I think mainly she would turn to her family members and her friends around her to ask them, like, was I okay? Are you sure?
They were there from the inception, and they're still around today, irking me at times, but I love them.
No matter what Aaliyah did, no matter how far she traveled or how big she got, she was never going to leave any of us. She never wanted to leave any of us.
Oh, so many things have taken place before this love affair began.
In the fall of 2000, Aaliyah traveled to Australia, where she began shooting another movie, Queen of the Damned. On the set by day, she was in a Sydney studio by night, working on her third album. And whenever she could, she flew home to be with her family and with Damon.
You know, the thing was, she was gone a lot, so the time that we had together, I mean, it was like we appreciated it. When we would sleep, I would hold her, I wouldn't let go. Like, in my sleep, she'd try to move, and I'd never let her go. It was almost like she was my twin soul.
Oh, Lord, you are loved, yes.
The time that they did have, the time they did spend together, they were in heaven. You know, nothing from the outside really got in their way. And she was so happy. She was so happy.
Throughout the winter and spring of 2001, Aaliyah worked on her first full-length album in 5 years.
after Aaliyah was working on movies or whatever, she had a lot of energy that she was ready to release. And as a musician or whatever, as an artist and all that, she was just saying, you know, she was so happy to see everybody and just be in the mix of, you know, music again, because she had been out of the loop so much.
So you just kind of go in the studio and vibe for a minute to get yourself back into what it is to be in the studio, what it is to get behind the mic and everything. So yeah, there's a period of warming up, but it's not that, it doesn't take that long.
I've always been someone that has had an affinity towards edgy things, towards kind of a dark side, and Romeo to Queen of the Damned. The Matrix, they all kind of represent that for me. It's very edgy, it's unique, and it's a little bit dark, and I like that in my music as well. So I felt, in taking the step into another genre, that I wanted to do something that people could understand and flow with me, and they know me that way in music, so I felt this was the best way to do it in film as well.
Aaliyah always has, you know, comes different, you know, and I was like, well, I gotta come different too, you know, because, you know, that's the type of artist she was, and just came up with some like classical hip hop. Jomo heard it, just like, oh my God, I mean, just the track before Static even got to it.
We Need a Resolution is the first single off of my new album. Produced by Timbaland, written by Static from Playa.
And on this album, I wanted to speak about relationships and all kinds of relationships, good ones, bad ones, or what have you. And that song speaks about a relationship that's kind of in the middle, you know what I mean? It's not either or, really. It's just at a point where they're not communicating, they have problems, and they want to resolve them. And what's actually cool about it is not all the time do you actually come to a resolution, you know what I mean? And at the end of the song, they really don't resolve anything. So, and that happens in life, so that's really what that song is about.
Did you have let me know I wouldn't have put on my clothes?
When I do a song, I usually hear all the instruments in my head and how I want it to sound. I mix everything, make it sound totally what when you come in the studio and you say, I didn't sound like this the day before. That's the chemistry of working together with people.
Well, this is to be the first time that y'all get to hear a lot of her at once, rather than just one song here and here. And she got a lot of versatile.
I think she just grew up as a person.
Words I won't accept. I thought I lost you.
We got to work with Key Beats,
Butter, and Jada. It's always fun to go in. Everybody, all three of them cats, is on their level.
Yeah.
Tell me why you.
Yeah, we kind of just went in the studio, just, you know, it's like, well, you're going to go in with Aaliyah. We said, okay, we didn't even know that we were going to end up doing as many songs as we did, but we just kept doing more and more and more, and she was liking them, so, you know what I'm saying, we had a nice click with the writers, Static and Black, and with her, so it was all good.
It's a blessing, yes. It's definitely a blessing, a privilege to even be on her project, and for the amount of songs that we do have on this project is overwhelming.
I think her image for this album just evolved. It was just growth, natural growth that came with, you know, becoming a woman after turning 21 and falling in love, and, you know, it was all of that.
Aaliyah was quite simply the best R&B album released in 2001. It really showed Aaliyah was not just an artist with a lot of promise, but an artist that was delivering on those promises right now, right with Aaliyah, right with that album, and it was great to hear.
She had a future that was just awesome in every direction. And she had a nice attitude about it, too. Never, ever acted like a diva. Never. And I know some divas.
When Aaliyah landed in the Bahamas in August of 2001 to shoot the video for her song Rock the Boat, she was on a definite roll. Her album had hit #2 on the charts. She had just signed a deal to star in the sequels to The Matrix.
They've started filming already, but I'll go in the end of May for a few weeks to start, and then I'll go to Australia later on, maybe early next year, I think. Right now, I want to work the album. I want to do my work with The Matrix. I want to, you know, tour. So there's a lot that I want to do work-wise. I'm a bit of a workaholic, so when I get too tired and I'm down and I'm out, I'll say, look, I need a vacation.
baby, you tired? She's like, what am I be tired about? I'm on the beach in the Bahamas shooting a music video, you know?
Stroke it, baby, stroke it, baby.
The boat had a room, and Aaliyah was in this one room, and she was sleeping. And I remember, like, wow, she looked so beautiful. So I went up, got really close, and took a picture of her. She never woke up or anything. The picture is beautiful. Her just laying there sleeping. Yeah.
Stroke it, stroke it, I want you to ride.
When Aaliyah rapped, she said, you know, Hype, I'm tired, I'm ready to go. Like, you got enough stuff. You shot all day in. By this time, she's like, okay, I'm over it. I'm tired. I'm ready to go.
Aaliyah changed clothes, and then we're like, where's the boat? Where's the boat? There was a speedboat that was supposed to be coming to pick them up, so the boat came.
Much of Aaliyah's team would accompany her on the journey home. Friend Keith Wallace, bodyguard Scott Gallen, record executives Gina Smith and Douglas Kratz, hairstylist Eric Foreman and Anthony Dodd, and makeup artist Christopher Maldonado.
Everyone loaded up in a boat, and we hugged each other and gave each other a kiss and told each other we loved each other. And she got on the boat. I ran, grabbed my camera. I was like, let me take a picture, let me take a picture. I took a picture of all of them, waving, and her holding up the peace sign.
First at 11, what went wrong? 9 people killed after a plane crashes and bursts into flames just
Government officials are still investigating the crash of the twin-engine Cessna 402, which was carrying Aaliyah and her 8 associates, when it hit the ground and caught fire just after taking off from Abaco Island in the Bahamas.
And this time you're like, oh my God, I can't just, no, this cannot be happening. It cannot be happening. That's all I could think is this just could not, this cannot be happening. Wasn't I just waving at these people and hugging them and kissing them? And telling them I love them? It was just the hardest thing I had to do ever in life. And then Diane was just kind of, she didn't want to hear what I was saying. And I couldn't believe that I was saying it.
I got a call on the phone, and my mom was hysterical. And I was like, you know, what's going on? What's going on? You know, she could barely speak, and told me, you know, and my first reaction was pretty much to just scream, you know, because I just didn't, I couldn't grasp it. I couldn't put my put my psyche around anything like that happening. It just didn't make any sense.
My mother called, and you know, she said she had a team had called and said that there was a plane crash and Lee was in it, and once I heard it, I knew it was true.
The National Transportation Safety Board says investigators have found no sign of mechanical failure, but they have confirmed that the plane was substantially overweight when it took off. And the NTSB is investigating the possibility that Luis Morales fraudulently obtained his pilot certification. Investigators have uncovered inconsistencies in Morales' flight training logbook. In a letter to the FAA, an attorney for the now defunct Black Hawk Airways asserts that Morales may have duped the charter company by altering his logbook to reflect hundreds of hours that were never literally flown.
It's still said to be an accident. If it proves not to be, then the wrath of God will deal with it if it isn't.
On August 31st, 2001, Aaliyah's family, friends, and fans gathered in New York to say goodbye to their fallen star.
To us, she was a princess. I think to a lot of people, she was a princess. She loved horses, so we wanted her to have a horse-drawn carriage, and we had doves. We wanted to send her off like that.
When we stepped out of the church and I saw all of those kids, the signs and screaming, and the sun was shining, and for that small moment, I didn't feel the negativity of the word death. I felt the positiveness of the word life, because that's what we were feeling, life.
It's been very hard, very difficult, but I have to understand that she's in a better place, and I know she don't want me to worry that she's okay. So you gotta get this. Let you know that she's on my back.
Her legacy is that you can achieve your dreams no matter what. No matter how many times you fall down, you can get back up and you can keep going. And you can achieve your dreams and still maintain being a beautiful person.
Hey, my baby, why you looking so down?
It's kind of hard now because, you know, everywhere I go, I see pictures of her. I can't really listen to the radio. You know, I can't hear her. It's hard, so.
Tell me why you cry. Wipe those tears from your...
She was such a good person and so smart, so well developed, you know, so secure in her own skin. You know, that I know that if she did so well in life, she would do so well in the afterlife, trying to help everyone, that she's trying to comfort everyone that's in pain. So she still has a lot of work to do.
I know that she's not here in body, but I believe that she's here in spirit.
She was an angel. She truly was an angel.
I wanna let you